Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business and the SillyVille editions. These are usually recorded Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We didn't have internet last night, so we're recording it a little bit later. But anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well. You can join us over there on the Matrix community. I'm not sure if it's listed in the public directory yet, but if you go to the website, switchedtolinux.com, go to the very bottom of the page, there's a list of all the social medias down there, second to the last one at the time of this video is being done. It's the one with the element icon will get you into that server. So you can jump on over there if you can't find it publicly listed. It is an open server otherwise. With that, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the news. So Netflix is now trying to get around their new rules. Now, they did update this and say, yeah, they're not going to push them out quite yet. I think they're too terrified of losing absolutely all their market share because, frankly, if they do this, they're just going to die. Netflix was really powerful when nobody else was doing what they're doing, but now the streaming services have become so fragmented, and I'm not sure Netflix really has anything to offer other than Netflix exclusives, but Netflix seems to not have a lot of exclusives because they seem to kill them too quickly from what I hear. I don't know. I've never paid for Netflix, nor will I ever pay for Netflix, nor any other streaming service. I will go to the local Goodwill store and find my DVDs. Thank you, and put them in my own server. So, Netflix, what they're trying to do, though, to make sure that people are not stealing and sharing their passwords, is they're going to make you log in from your device from what is listed as your primary location at least once every 31 days. So if you have an iPad and you're using this for Netflix, then you would need to take that iPad back to that home location, log in at least once per month, once every 31 days. Now, there is a very fun workaround for this, and this is if you host your own VPN, which I have a video on. So if your kids are at college and what you can simply do is you can have them literally get onto a VPN on their device, log right on into your home address, and everyone's, whether or not you're perpetually using it, at least once a month, you can, hey, have you logged into the VPN and click the button lately? Hey, there you go. Because that literally is going to make your device log in from your own personal IP address without actually having to be there. Hey, look at that. Who would have thought competent people would have ways around this kind of stuff? But anyway, what their plan and purpose is going to be here is to make sure that people aren't sharing their accounts around. Now, of course, they are rolling out a plan that you can pay extra for other people outside your basic household can be on there as well. It's basically a big money grab, but it's probably going to result in more people stop watching it because they'll just switch to other services as well. I don't think any college student who can't get back to their parents' house once every 31 days to log into their iPad, I don't think that they're going to be like, oh, I guess I got to buy my own Netflix account now. I'm pretty sure they're probably just going to go with something else or, switch to the Tubies or something like that. So that's what Netflix is trying to do to kill its own business. This is applies over in EU. Apparently, EU has laws about dark patterns. I'm not sure United States has them because everything United States uses, like every one of these dark patterns, is like that's on every store I've ever seen on stores in the United States. At least most of the shadier ones that are out there that I would never dare put my information in. Anyway, 40% of online shops tricking users with dark patterns. And so dark patterns, these are ways to force people to buy things earlier. So the three things they list here: fake countdown timers, interfaces designed to lead customers to certain purchases, hidden information. So like, really small, huge package, the preferred one, that's a dark pattern. And so apparently this is not really lawful in EU countries. So they found 40% of online shopping websites rely on manipulative practices to exploit customers' vulnerabilities to trick them. 42 websites use fake countdown timers with deadlines for purchasing specific products. Nearly every VPN company does this, by the way. Got any random VPN company, they're all, countdown now, and then you just refresh the page and the countdown restarts. It's just JavaScript. I mean, it might be a JavaScript pointing to a specific server time, then it resets again after that. But so what they said is that they're reaching out to all these guys And to rectify their websites, they say, if necessary, further action will be taken. Commissioner for Justice has called on all national authorities to make use of their law enforcement capabilities to take relevant actions to fight these abusive practices. So let's take all of our law enforcement and focus on websites selling weird things on the internet, because you do not have the competency or the courage in your own self to say, I don't care if the website has a countdown timer. I'm just not going to buy that today. I think this is a bunch of nonsense, but whatever. Dark patterns, illegal in the EU. The Biden administration says Apple and Google's app stores are stifling competition. Same old story, same old story. Of course, Google responds and says, no, we're not. You can install all sorts of software stores on our phone. And Google's right. Google is not involved in anti-competitive behavior with a smartphone. Okay? They're not. You can install apps from anywhere you want. You can install separate stores and install apps from those stores. There are multiple ways of installing applications on your Android device. Google is not involved in anti-competitive behavior when it comes to installing apps. Period. Apple is. Of course, Apple responded by saying, oh, we care about privacy and security. No, we care about collecting all the data for ourselves and sell it all on our own ad marketing system. But, they are coming out and saying that they're stifling competition. Of course, Apple said that we reported on a few weeks ago that Apple might be looking at the ability to do side loading. My argument is the iPhone needs to be able to side load. It does not have to be easy. It does not have to be something that your average person is going to easily figure out. It's not going to be something that has to be front and center. Do you want to be able to sideload apps on the setup screen? I'm not saying that in the slightest. I think that having a relatively locked down model is safer for the average person. But for a guy like me that wants to sideload stuff, I should have a very clear opportunity to do so. But who knows if the Joe Biden administration would like to clamp down on Apple for not putting those in. I guess it just means that Apple didn't give him enough for his campaign contributions. They should be investigating people who lie on firearms purchase guides, but he would have to throw his own son in jail. So less said about that, the better. Where's that Parmesan cheese? All right. Many firms are working with risky third-party vendors. This one is a fascinating take here, because the problem is nearly every company that we work with wants to work with third parties to save as many costs as they possibly can. This is kind of raises some questions in and of itself. Okay, now, all that being said, those third parties, first and foremost, the terms of service for these companies we're dealing with explicitly say, oh yeah, we'll just share all this data with all the third parties we want to, because yeah, we can. And then the problem now we have is that these third parties are coming in here and they tend to have very low security, very low privacy standards. Sometimes they're outsourcing stuff as well. Oftentimes the third parties are just, sweatshops or whatever else. So the problem, and this is really the problem with modern business, where we do not have laws that prevent them from collecting more information than they need. We don't have laws protecting it. And just because you have a privacy policy is not a wall that prevents. It's like a red light. Okay, a red light does not put up a wall that stops you from going into the intersection and killing somebody. It simply says, hey, you're not allowed to do this. Well, the problem is you're not allowed to do this. Fine. Is there any consequence? Sure, after the fact. But if you didn't have the data and you weren't allowed to catch the data to begin with, we wouldn't actually have a problem. So all of these data breaches that we're getting are simply a result of people who are just giving up too much data, not cognizant about their companies, and not doing enough pushback. Like, you go to get your haircut. What's your email? You don't need my email. I don't get my haircut on my email. Nor do you need my phone number. Nor do you need my name. I'm going to sit in your chair. You're going to cut my hair. Done. I got so sick of it, I bought a pair of clippers in the back of the van. When my hair gets long, I just plug it in and shave all my hair off, and I'm done. I'm sick of these participating in society. It's nonsense. But that's what's going on with these third parties. Of course, how many of those guys are putting their information in MailChimp? Oh, that was breached. So F for security. Basically, what they did is they audited all these third-party vendors that are used for everything under the sun. From analyzing your voice prints to keeping your databases, doing your books. insecurity drips out of every single one of them, and nobody really cares because whatever, our company is secure and our third parties are not allowed to do anything with your data. Yeah, until they get paid 5 times more for 5 minutes of their time as you're paying for the 1 month. Yeah, they're going to do whatever they want with the customer's data. It's not your data. You don't care. It's like these proctoring services they're trying to force your kids to. Every one of you, if you have a kid and the school saying you need to sign up for this proctoring service, you need to walk right into that dean administrator's office and say, can I have your phone? Yeah, can I see your ID, please? And then you start pulling out your phone and you start taking pictures of the ID, and you're like, I'm just about to post this on Facebook. I'm going to verify who you are. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah, why are you forcing my child to have a service that forces them to show their ID? What is this nonsense? But this is the type of thing that's happening because, of course, all those things were breached as well. So just be aware that even if you do trust the company you're working with, can you trust the people that they're working with? The answer is probably no, based on the research that indicates 98% of them have relationships with third-party vendors, and 60 to 90% of those relationships, I'd say 60 to 90 have fourth-party relationships. 10% of the third parties were rated as F for security. 25. Let's see. Healthcare average 15.5 vendors. Insurances 11 different vendors. Finance 6.5 different vendors. Information sector 25 different vendors. This is where we get all these data leaks from. It's all of these vendors. All right, and on to our chief article here. This was also sent on the Matrix community. Of course, I had to find something that wasn't WMD, which apparently is blocked on my block list. No, excuse me, it's my blacklist. Deal with it. EV owner says he hears a loud boom 1 minute after plugging his truck. Then the error codes start popping up. So he had a Rivian R1T pickup, Electrify America charging station. Apparently this seems to be more of a problem with Electrify America. So he plugs it in. 1 minute later, there's a boom, and then his vehicle is showing him some serious system issues. So he says, plugged in my car. 1 minute later, heard a loud boom. Now I have a bunch of error codes popping up. So let's see, here's the car, and then system fault detected, performance limited, service may be required, vehicle battery issue, service the truck soon. So this has actually happened a few different times, all at Electrify America charging ports, where cars have basically blown up. So something is going on in here. Now, in this case here, he also couldn't detach the charger. And there's like 3 different manual releases. None of them worked. The service technician who showed up, I think they said like few hours, I think it took like 8 hours, 6 or 8 hours or something. Let's see, 7 hours for the guy to get out there. He had to pry the thing off. Actually, I think he proposed cutting off the charging cord because there's a manual release on the charging cord, which wasn't working. There's a manual release on the vehicle itself, which wasn't working. Basically, his car it's kind of like the alien, right? It's sucked into him and he can't get it off, and it's just continuing to eat the car away. And 7 hours later, they can't get the thing off, and like at least he's now praising Rivian for sending him rideshare credits to get home. I hope that Rivian is replacing your car, or Electrify America, because hey, this is just you. I need to get my car, and let's plug in and pop. I'm sorry, this car is probably north of $75,000. Who's paying this gentleman back his $75,000? Because this is clearly a problem, and I would probably say it's more of a problem with Electrify America, because other people are saying down a little bit further in the article that this guy had a Ford F-150 Lightning, same problem at Electrify America. F-150 Lightning made a loud noise despite error codes while charging. So let's see. Ford Lightning bricked today at Electrify America charger, 1,000 miles from home, EV charger. went black. My lightning won't move, and I'm screwed, is what he says. So apparently there's some problems with these charging stations, and so as we're pushing these charging stations all over the country, like, maybe it's just the matter, like the charging station, like, we just don't have enough power, man. there's not enough power on the grid, dude. It's night. You're trying to charge this thing off of solar. It's black outside. Haven't you noticed? All right. Well, if you want to help support the channel, I do actually have a science fiction novel, Synaptergy. Synaptergy.com. Good science fiction novel. Good family-friendly novel as well. I don't use swear words, things like that in there. Some people might say that makes it boring. I don't know. But you can come on over here. You can read the very first chapter if you would like. We actually have the first 5 minutes as an audiobook you can listen to as well. So if you want to follow up here and have a look at a science fiction novel questioning some of these crazy things in our world, you can go ahead and head on over to Synaptergy.com. Have a look at the book. I do not have a personal place where you can buy them directly from me, so you just have to go to like Barnes & Noble, Amazon, whatever else. All right, guys, let's head on over to SillyVille. All right, so you guys in Canada, I'm so sorry. Your Canada's Groundhog Day. Your Canada's groundhog was found dead hours before making his weather predictions. What does this mean? Like, y'all are screwed? Of course, if this groundhog had anything to do with, like, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, he was right. He's like, dude, no, there's no more prediction. I'm just dead. Like, minus 100 wind chill am I reading that right? Tech Anchorage is on from that area. Tech Anchorage, is it minus 100 wind chill out there? Please let me know. Sounds crazy. So the groundhog died. Of course, the one in Punxsutawney Phil said like 6 more weeks of winter, I guess. I don't know. And I just love the way that Not to Be did this. Here's the rest of what you missed on Groundhog's Day. Here you go. All right. Okay, enough. This one's not tech related, but it was glorious. It was Koofy related. A former school official accused of embezzling $1.5 million in chicken wings. The school doesn't even serve chicken wings because they have bones. So they can't serve the chicken wings, fear that the children will choke. But a former official in the school district of the Chicago suburb of Harvey is accused in a bizarre scheme involving more than $1 million of stolen chicken wings. The former District Food Services at Harvey School District 152, Cook County State Attorney's Office alleges that Liddell launched an embezzling scheme that resulted in the theft of wings costing more than $1.5 million in taxpayer money. The alleged scheme began during the height of the Koofy pandemics, when the school systems were closed on state order and replaced by virtual learning. Despite the fact that children were learning remotely, the school district was still providing meals for pickup, according to the state attorney's office. From July of 2020 to February 2022, Liddell purchased hundreds of unauthorized orders for food items, including 11,000 cases of chicken wings, for which the school district was billed more than $1.5 million through the school district vendor Gordon Food Service. The purchases were made separately from legitimate orders made by the school district. They believed all the purchases were authorized and billed for the district for everything. The district paid full bills, including the ones for unauthorized purchases. January, basically, they did an audit. They found that they were over $300,000 over its annual budget, with the school only half over for the year. Closer review found all of these. Nobody quite knows what happened to these chicken wings, but I gotta say, $1.5 million in chicken wings sounds like a very, very tasty, glorious 2-year feast of chicken wings. I gotta know. How fat is this lady? Did she eat them all, or was this just an underground market? Was she working with the what food origin is that? Was she working with the Buffalo mob to push black market chicken wings for side income? I mean, we got to get creative here, but that's that. All right. Well, a de-extinction company. Oh, they had a really hilarious name too. Colossal. Colossal is their name. They are going to try to resurrect the dodo bird. So they found some 400-year-old complete DNA sequences from a dodo bird, and now they're going to be working with the nearest living relative of the dodo bird to substitute the DNA. Let's see. I can't remember which the actual plan is. Now, here's the thing we have to remember about the dodo bird, okay? The dodo bird is a flightless bird that is 3 feet tall. So basically, these guys are trying to propose a recreation of Jurassic Park full of incompetent, moronic, flightless 3-foot birds running around. That is big, by the way. That is half the size, slightly taller than half the size of the average American adult. You want these birds running around after being genetically engineered and modified because some crazy guys are over here going, hey guys, let's play Jurassic Park, because we all know that turned out well. I mean, the dinosaur ate the lawyer, so I guess this proves they're not all that bad. All right. So yeah, they picked this one for the de-extinction. The company's working on large-scale genome engineering to morph modern elephants back into woolly mammoths. Oh, God, that's all we need. Woolly mammoths running around. Are you going to release them down the Nebraskan plains where they used to live? How about down in Texas? Woolly mammoths certainly won't do anything bad to the oil industry down there. Knocking over the oil wells, oil's springing all over the place. People are like, oh, see how bad the oil was for the planet? No, it's the woolly mammoth that's had its time and it's gone. Okay? There's a reason it's gone. We do not need woolly mammoths coming down the plains of Texas. Wild woolly mammoth loose downtown Dallas. News at 11. All right. Well, enough of the dodo birds. Somebody needs to make those genomic engineers go extinct. Holy crap. Empathy is a new AI tool to generate obituaries. Writing an obituary isn't an easy task. That's an understatement. Incredibly painful, usually expensive too, but somebody has to do it. Is it part of the funeral directors? I don't know. So the Empathy platform wants to provide support for families who've recently suffered a loss by making the launch of its new tool, the AI that creates obituary drafts called Finding Words. The tool generates obits from basic information provided by family members. So you come over here and you fill out, here's the personal information, here's the relatives, here's the ceremony details, education, career, military services, life events, personality, and interests. So the author of this article, who is Kyle Wiggers, he filled out the information himself, and it wrote his own obituary for him. Let's see. Brooklyn, New York, passed away January 30th. And basically, you read it and say, sure, it looks like a standard obituary you find. So, sure, maybe. Okay. All right. Now on to our most terrifying aspects of this. This guy asked ChatGPT to write a worship song, and I'm afraid Hillsong and Chris Tomlin are going to be out of business. So, of course, modern Christian music is the most abysmal form of garbage that's ever come about. And a lot of it, you can't tell if they're talking about Jesus or their girlfriend. Hold me tight. Oh, feel your presence. All this nonsense. In fact, I was at some churches not too long ago that I was completely convinced they were using AI-generated worship songs. It was like randomized Christianese verses. I'm just like, oh, Lord. When I get into those, I'm just like, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. He's here whether he's welcome or not. Okay, I hate that stupid song. Can we ban that song, please? All right, so I asked ChatGPT to write a contemporary Christian song with lyrics that could be about Jesus or about one's boyfriend. Verse 1, you hold me close, you never let me go. In your arms, I find strength to grow. With every step, I know you're by my side. With you, I'll conquer every fear and tide. Chorus, you are my everything. You light up my way. In your love, I find my home each day. With every breath, I'll sing your praises. Hi. You are my king. You are my reason why. You can wipe away my tears. You can heal my pain. With you, I'll never walk alone again. Your grace and mercy that will never fade. With you, I'll never be afraid. So there you go, guys. Coming to a church near you. And so ChatGPT is definitely going to put out Hillsong and Chris Tomlin out of business here with their horrible, sappy, modern, devoid of theology, pretending to be Christian stuff. And then I'm going to start hearing it as I travel the various churches around the country. And, oh, Lord, help us all. I didn't actually pull up the website here, but if you do like Christian content, since we're talking about that, I do actually have a Christian channel on most of these platforms we're streaming on here as well. You can find more information at ourwalkingchrist.com or YouTube, Rumble, or Odyssey at Our Walking Christ. I'm all over there. We have regular messages, daily things, weekly podcasts, stuff like that. So if you do like the Christian stuff, you can head on over there, ourwalkingchrist.com. If you'd like to help support the channel, we do have a Subscribe Star page, subscribestar.com/switchedtolinux. You can jump on over there and help support what we are doing. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.